All right, and it was very mysterious because there's all kind of gases coming out of there that are poisonous, and birds fly into the area and they immediately drop to their death. And there were things going. There was a temple there, right? And it was certain kind of I don't know sacrifices or practices going on there, but they were pagan, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Greek, and that's why it was called the Temple of Pluto. And again, as you said, there was some sort of toxic gases coming out of the opening, which is probably what led to the myth that this is some sort of a gateway to Hades, that the birds that just flew near the mouth of the cave would die immediately, and that was one of the giveaways when they discovered it. Allegedly, some of the priestesses of the temple would essentially hold their breath and go deep down inside and come out alive, and that would sort of give them sort of a mystique and an authority. But ultimately, I'm sure it's just a cave filled with poisonous gases. But you had all of this mystery in ancient times. And of course, as a Christian, I ultimately don't ascribe any validity or reality to that, other than to say that where in locations where you worship false entities, there is a high level of, we'll say, demonic activity, and sometimes the things that take place in the spirit realm do carry out into reality. But I simply found it interesting because it's also it just so happens to be the location of ancient Hierapolis, which is a city that was also known as Magog. And so once again, you have one of the premier prophetic passages of the Old Testament scriptures, Ezekiel 38:39, speaking of really the gathering of the Antichrist and his forces. There are some that claim that it's referring to a different end-time enemy of Israel and the people of God. It's a different end-time coalition of nations, but this is really it's really a modern belief that throughout history, the early church, they always believed that Gog and the Battle of Gog and Magog is simply a reiteration of the Battle of Armageddon. Ezekiel's telling the same story that all of the other prophets are telling. Many didn't want to believe that because it was clearly a Middle Eastern coalition of nations, and many of the Protestant reformers were so bound and determined to believe that the real threat in the last days would be, of course, Pope Francis and his crew, in other words, the Roman Catholic Church. And so when they see all these Middle Eastern nations, they go, oh, this must be a different end-time battle. But the point being, this is that final clash between Satan and the people of God on the earth before the return of the Messiah. And so the very historical place that the Bible was referring to is really sort of the head of the coming antichristic forces. It just so happens to be the place that in ancient times they believed was the gateway to hell. And so I thought that was interesting. Again, I don't put huge amount of weight behind that, but it's certainly worth noting. And so that was really the purpose of the article.
And I guess if you connect it to some other passages, and I always take the words of Christ very seriously, in the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 12, Christ is dictating to the Apostle John, and he's saying, tell different churches these things. And he told one church that, he says, I know what you do. And he says, and where you dwell, where Satan's throne is, and you hold fast to my name, and don't deny the faith. That is very curious, right? And you don't see too many references like that, but that is very specific, isn't it? And that city, or the city where the church is, just happens to be in Turkey.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's Pergamum, or Pergamon, and its modern day city is called Bergama in Turkey, and it's not too far. It's probably a couple-hour drive through the mountains from the original location, which is Pamukkale, which is ancient Hierapolis or Magog, and this is the location that Jesus at that time said, I know where you live. You live where Satan's throne is, which at the time was, again, another Greek temple. It was the temple of Zeus. It was the altar of Pergamon. And here's what's interesting is that that ancient altar, that ancient temple, was moved. It was taken by the Germans, and it was placed in the museum in Berlin. And so here you have this ancient, relic, if you will, that Jesus himself, speaking through John, refers to as the throne of Satan. It's placed in Berlin, which then goes on to become the very womb of the Holocaust, one of the greatest onslaughts against the Jewish people in history. Today, the nation of Turkey is fighting with Germany to get that temple back. Later, it was actually Adolf Hitler. Albert Speers was the Nazi architect of it, modeled the Zeppelin Tribune, Zeppelin Field, where Hitler gave all of his speeches. He modeled that after the Pergamum altar, and it just so happens that it was actually the same model when President Obama gave his initial speech before he was elected president in Denver. And everyone was discussing at the time, oh, it looks like this particular building in Russia, it looks like this. No, it was clearly modeled after the Pergamum altar, which again was the throne of Satan, the same thing that Hitler modeled his podium after. That Obama actually did the same, and there were a few people that took note of it, but it was again just these subtle little